Hello everybody, you are back in Stephanie's kitchen and I'm going to do macaroni and cheese on the stove. Now I do my macaroni and cheese with my Instapot most of the time because I feel like it's easier. But I have requests, especially from my friend Juanita, and I'm going to show her how to do this without the Instapot. Okay? First of all, we got to bring the water to a boil. You know you have to boil your noodles. And I boil my noodles for about 9 minutes. So the water is on boiling right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in here and let them boil for 9 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes, whatever your package says. But I got my noodles, and this is a pound of noodles. I'm going to put my pound of noodles in and let them start to boil. And I'm actually going to put a timer on here for, let's say, 9 minutes and start. I'm actually going to kind of cover it up so it boils, so it can start to boil again. But when it starts boiling, I'll take it off. Meanwhile, you need 1 can of carnation milk or evaporated milk. You need 1 stick of butter. It could be salted or unsalted, but unsalted is okay because the cheese is going to have a lot of salt in it. And I use extra sharp cheddar cheese, and this is the one I use, the Cracker Barrel, and I got it all sliced up over there. But I use two bars of this to make 1 pound, and I use Velveeta cheese. Now you can get the chunks, but I happen to get the little slices here. Make my life maybe a little easier to do this. So I'm going to show you what I do. First, you start with, and you put a little pepper in eventually. But shake up your carnation milk, and then you open it up here. Turn it on, pour it in the pot. It's really a very, very simple recipe. Nothing but cheese, really. Some cheese sauce I'm making. Turn this on. And I turn the heat on about medium because you don't want the stuff to burn. And you stir it a lot. First I'm going to put the stick of butter in. And then I'm going to put the Velveeta in. If it was in a chunk, it would. If you open it in, you cut it all up and everything, it would be a lot faster. But what I'm doing is putting these things in 1 slice at a time. This is the one that has 24 slices, so we'll be a little fast forward through that. But you're going to stick it in, get them all in. Okay, I got them all open, and Mr. McNeil, he helped me, Juanita, to open these things up. So they're all on right now. I'm gonna turn this heat up just a little bit so I can start stirring. And what you want to do is to stir this. Stir it until it becomes a cream. And just keep stirring it. That's what you really want to do with this. So you're sitting here and you're stirring. Now if I was to make this in the Instapot, I would have put the macaroni in the Instapot. I would have put the water in the Instapot, just about a cup of water, just enough to cover up the macaroni. And then I would have put in the butter, and I would have turned it on for maybe 6 minutes until it got done. Once it got done, then you add all this stuff in and you stir it. And when you stir it all up, then you can pull it out and bake it. That's how, but I think it's better because it's only 1 pot. So that's why I do it that way in my Instapot most of the time these days. Then I don't have all these pots, 3 pots going, I don't do that. Or 2 pots going for sure. I don't do it like that anymore. And I'm making a pound of macaroni and cheese. Now, we're not going to eat a pound of macaroni and cheese. because it's just a lot. These days we can't eat that much, but I'm going to take most of it and I'm going to freeze it. So you can do that too. You can freeze this macaroni and cheese, and then when you want it, you pull it out, and you can have some good macaroni and cheese. So that's another way to do this. It could stay in the freezer for a long time until you're ready to use some. So you would portion it out and you'd use it and put it in the freezer when you want to use it. And it would work perfect with my cube steak. Actually, this would go very well with the cube steak. The cube steak's already gone, but it would have been great with that. So yeah, I'm doing that, and I got one of my eyes on my macaroni, and looks like the macaroni is almost ready. So it's still stirring. We're still stirring up this this cheese mixture, and I'm gonna go into the macaroni and stir it real quick. And my 9 minutes are almost up, so my timer is telling me it's almost done. So, right, keep stirring this. Now with the cheese mixture, I just add a little pepper. That's about it. It needs no salt, because I think, again, this is really salty enough. It needs no salt. So for me, I put a little pepper in here. I'd say about a teaspoon of pepper. You sprinkle it in there, or to your taste. You want to put that pepper in. You see, now you got a cream sauce. You got a cheese sauce, excuse me. You got a nice cheese sauce. And it's all you need. All you need. Okay. You told me to hush, so we hush it. Ah. Good. Okay. I think that's ready. You take a look at this, at these noodles. Oh, they're pretty good. I'm gonna let it sit for one more minute. I'm gonna let these noodles stay for one more minute. And time it. Actually, put it in every 2 more minutes. Start. So that means it stayed on for like 11 minutes. So I like it nice and tender, really, really tender. These noodles. So I'm giving it another 2 more minutes. Meanwhile, we're stirring this cream sauce. Stirring it, stirring it, stirring it. Stirring that cream sauce. Juanita, I know your daughter will love to come home and have her some macaroni and cheese. So my dear, this is your job. You gotta give Raya some macaroni and cheese. Oh, and especially Brian. I know he wants it. So you just stir this, and now you see how creamy the sauce is? The Velveeta really makes a nice creamy sauce. And you see how that's it. That's how it's done. It's nice and smooth. And truthfully, I can turn this off, which I'm gonna do. And I got about a minute before these noodles will be done. And that'll be that. With this macaroni, with this cheese sauces, I'm going to actually add some cheddar cheese in here, into the sauce. And I'd say maybe, I got a whole pound, so I'd say about a quarter of that pound I'll put in here. And also stir it until it gets right. So it gets the nice consistency that I want. That's why I got a whole pound of cheese in here. So maybe about a quarter of that pound I'm going to put in there, and the rest goes when I bake it. Okay, off you go. Off this fire goes. Now it's ready. See, it's nice and tender. You can see that they're nice and tender. That's how I like it. I'll leave it right here until I'm ready for this. And you really do not want this flame too high. You want it nice and low and slow, so that this cheese will melt. That's that's it. So I throw these in. That'll be that. Just let them come and melt. I like extra sharp cheddar cheese. In my group that I have, my family, I buy that big block. I either buy the Costco brand, or I'll buy the Cracker Barrel. Extra sharp, but extra sharp is what you want. Extra sharp cheese. And my dad used to love extra sharp cheddar cheese that had that black wax band around it. Boy, he would eat that, some crackers and some sardines, and Daddy was happy. So my father used to like that. And my brother, Johnny, loved this macaroni and cheese before I baked it. So I make it like this, and he wanted it just like this before I actually baked it. So you can see it's going down. It's going down. It's getting... Okay, Juanita, I've had these pots for 1,000 years. Before I probably bought this house, I had these pots. Well, it's 20 some odd years I've had them. And these pots are still good, especially to make stuff like this. It's not sticking. As you see, do you see the consistency? That's how it's going to be. Nice and creamy. And now I want to deal with my macaroni over here. I got to get my gloves. The gloves on here. I have one of these pots that already has a strainer on it, which I found to be wonderful also. And it could strain the water right out over the pot. So I don't have to carry the pot over to the sink. Now I'm going to put the macaroni into the sauce, period. That's it. Simple. So you would have a colander or whatever you need, or whatever you have at home, Juanita, and you just use the colander, and you drain out your macaroni in the colander, and then you put the macaroni into this sauce. And now you see it's nice and creamy. This is a nice sauce right here. Okay. This is 1 pound of mac and cheese. This bowl I've had for also 1,000 years, and when I did my kitchen, I found my bowls. I didn't know where they were. So I decided I'm going to use this old Corningware that I had, but it's still very, very new. And this is what I'm going to put this macaroni and cheese in, this casserole pan. So, let's see. Yeah, because, as I said, the cheese got enough salt in it, so I wouldn't put any more in there. Now, I pour this at the bottom. Like half of it in there. Now, I will take the cheese and put it right in the middle, right all around, just like layer it like you're doing lasagna. You would just layer that cheese right in there. So when you want to eat this, you're going to get a big taste of this cheese in the middle. Put it right up in here. And then the rest of it in there. Now you don't have to use this big casserole dish like I have, but I figured it's pretty. It's nice and I hardly ever use it, so I'll use it today. Get that out. Rest of that out. It comes right out of this pan. These really have been some of the best pots I have owned in my lifetime. So, and I tend to keep my old pots that work fine. So if it's working for me, I'm going to use it. And here we go. Put that on here, just like that. Gonna finish it up with the rest of the cheese on here, Juanita. Stick it right on there. And I got my oven preheated at 350 degrees. And I'm gonna put this in for about an hour until it gets bubbly, like you like it, and brown. For this one, if you didn't have this pan, you would put foil paper over it for about 40 minutes, 45 minutes, then take it off so it gets brown. But you want to make sure the cheese gets done. So for this one, I happen to have this glass top that goes with it. So I'm going to put it on today. I'm going to use it. Put it in the oven right now. And I'll see her in an hour. 45 minutes, an hour. I'll probably come back in an hour. Doesn't really matter. You can keep it a little longer and it'll be okay. So I'm going to set the timer for 1 hour. And here we go. I'll be back. I'll show you what it looks like when it gets done, Nita. See you later. Okay, everybody, I'm back with my baked macaroni and cheese, made the old-fashioned way. The macaroni and cheese was in the oven for an hour and 10 minutes. About the hour mark, I took the top off. It's truly ready. I mean, everything's really cooked already. But it was really cooked and it was nice, so I just put in another 10 minutes to get a little more brown. And here it goes. It looked good. So Juanita, I made your macaroni and cheese. I'm gonna take some out of the pan, but it's really, really, really hot. I just want you guys to see what it looks like. I might not actually eat any because it's extremely hot. But look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That looks marvelous. That looks good. So I made sloppy joes tonight. We're gonna have some macaroni and cheese and some sloppy joes. And I'm gonna put the rest and freeze it for later on with myself. So everybody, please like, subscribe, and share. And you'll see all the recipe that for this recipe. Everything will be down at the bottom of my link. And hope everybody has a great evening. Talk to you guys later.